A large number of school educators believe that tablet computers will become one of the key tools in early childhood education. Being interactive, intuitive, and mobile are some of the main reasons.
Technology today plays an important role in our daily lives. It has affected us in terms of social skills, spatial skills, and brain development. On the brighter side, it has made life easier and a lot less complex. But is today's technology beneficial or detrimental?
When the World Wide Web was introduced, media now in the form of digital data could be copied at lightning rates, shared almost everywhere. Technology enables people to interact, innovate, and share information in totally new ways. People are empowered and the society is more transparent.
Moreover, it helps us solve our problems faster and more efficiently, and it also helps facilitate a child's free time. However, it can also mean that we can't not ever really get away and switch off.
Technology is pervasive in modern culture and a staple of youth social interaction. To remove a cell phone from a teenager today is in many ways to disconnect her from her friends and social life and disrupt her daily routine. In the early days, technology was merely a form of entertainment. There were a lot of social networking and outings. Nowadays, in the 21st century, technology makes life a little less complex and more enjoyable. But is it a good thing for us? Social media consists of the technologies people use to socialize and communicate with one another. Social media has become a big buzz phrase for the 21st century electronic tool of all kinds. The term social media allows different ways of communicating and sharing information with others. Other than social media, games can also be found on mobile phone applications. Some of the games are like Candy Crush and Bubble Island. Recently, a US study randomly assigned 8 kindergarten classes to use iPads for 9 weeks. In all, 129 students used an iPad and 137 were taught without an iPad. The literacy test results show that iPad students outperformed the non-iPad students in every measure they were tested on. Conclusions were drawn that high levels of motivation, engagement, and learning in the iPad classrooms are seen. If you see a kid with an iPad or iPhone, you're probably wondering how they pick things up so quickly. Well, it is just amazing. This new generation is now looking to e-readers and touchscreens rather than books or magazines. This 2 million hit video on YouTube is about a 1-year-old playing an iPad and later tries to make magazine pictures move in the same way with her fingers. Her baby thinks the magazine is an iPad that doesn't work. She's not alone. But just as some people criticize TV being a distraction, many parents think that giving their children high-tech toys is a form of avoiding personal communication. They will always be the apple of our eye, but kids will always have their eye on their apple. In the early days, kids used to go to parks for fun, but nowadays, a significant number of children seem to be indoors playing. This limits their communication skill. Apart from it, kids have the tendency to face health problems like being sleep deprived, having eye strains, and other detriments.
What do you understand by the term child development?
It's supposed to improve the skills in a child. It's supposed to improve their motor skills, their personality, how they speak, how they act, how they socialize, and like what we have grown up for. Like most of the kids, they need, of course, they will obviously need child development. That's why I understand the process from when they were a little baby and became a toddler is very, very crucial. So I heard this one article, I actually read it somewhere, that they say child development is very, very crucial when they are about 6 months to about 2 years old. This is where they actually develop their brains.
Child development is about bringing up a child in an environment that will enable him to think and to be able to grow into a responsible adult.
Just like any other child, Daniel, of age 7, loves to play the iPad and had developed early learning skills from it.
to a certain extent, because gadgets do not have the feel like a human being, and also gadgets cannot really guide a child in his or her growing environment.
Do you think it's essential for children to be learning by using these gadgets at an early age?
If they are not familiar, they may not get the feel of the development in these technologies, and they may, because of the very rapid development, they may be left behind in being able to maneuver themselves around when it comes to using this environment.
Experts say that the problem with too much screen time is that it gets in the way of a child's development, like interacting with other children or playing outside.
Within like a year, she actually, knows how to browse and how to close the app. And now she is 2 years old. So within that 2 years of using the iPad, she actually managed to develop really well. And right now she's into YouTube, like really, really into YouTube nowadays. She can actually browse YouTube. She can actually back and skip the ads. She just browse and learn by herself. I don't teach her. I just watch her.
At what age did your son started using his iPad?
Well, he started to use his iPad around 1.5, about 2 years old. That was because we were really busy. There was a point of time where both of us did not have time to spend with him, even at home. So we used the iPad sort of like to become a distraction for him, and he grew to enjoy it. I think children are naturally built to be, in that age of 1 to 5, 1 to 6, they are explorers. So by hook or by crook, they're going to discover how to actually use a gadget. So I don't think that they actually need to go for classes in that, because my son actually teaches me how to use the features on the iPad.
What do you think are the disadvantages of using this iPad?
iPad and in fact smartphones are basically the same nowadays. So in future, everything will be integrated into one platform, which is going to be the phone. Or we are going to move on to wearable gadgets which have the same feature, watch, which is we're going to see watches coming in soon, where everything will be able to interact and even inform how your body is functioning. So it's extended the media beyond just as a teaching and social media and multiple tools to something that is attached to the body, and it can give you more information on your physiology. In regards to the negative impact of using this, is you can see some rather odd behaviors that is not normal 2 or 3 decades ago, before these devices come up. You can see antisocial behavior. You can see violence, because when you play games, when a child grow up playing games which involve violence, he will find that it's natural to be violent, to shoot people, to destroy this and that. So another thing is the social media in terms of antisocial behavior. If you're always interacting in a virtual world, you're not actually interacting directly in real life. Definitely you will have a different feel when you are talking to somebody, or you are reacting to something.
As a parent, would you educate your child to use these gadgets?
Yes, I will encourage them, because so far, my girl, she has used iPad when she was about 8 months old, because it's not good for the eyes, and that's what some of my friends actually said. You don't buy this kind of gadgets because the blue ray, if I'm not mistaken, the blue ray thing actually will affect the eyes of the young children. When she was about 8 months old until now, changed tremendously. Like, so some of the apps are really good, still we have to purchase it. So I do purchase for my little girl, especially like a few of the apps called Toka Boka and Peppy and things like that. That's like quite a few, like Disney apps and things like that. So I bought it for her, and mostly is in English. So far that she can actually say English words more than Malay words actually. Well, they use a lot of gadgets obviously. They will have gadgets all time with them, and then they will be more tech savvy. They will know more than us obviously. As a lecturer, I'm kind of a bit worried whether we can catch up with how they develop when they learn when they were young with this kind of gadgets and the internet and all sort of technologies that we have now and the future. We can't really depend on 100% on technology, because like right now my daughter have this issue, like a really small issue, that whenever that she saw a screen, she will slide using her fingers, even though it's a laptop, but she know, oh, it's a screen, and then she will like swipe it.
How does your child communicate with his friends?
He goes to a Chinese school, so he speaks a lot of Mandarin with his friends, and he has a very fluent grasp of the language and English. Unfortunately, his Malay is not very good, and he enjoys school very much because that's the only time he interacts with people outside his family. So he looks forward to going to school. When there's a very long holiday, he wants to go back to school. So he's a very friendly character in him, and he likes to socialize.
So his iPad doesn't limit him from his friends.
I limit him from the use of the iPad, so he has to find other ways to fill his time, because I feel too much use of these kind of devices can have a negative impact on his growing up years.
What do you like to do on your iPad? What's your favorite game? Do you use your iPad for schoolwork? Like spelling?
Yeah.
Do you understand from what you learn in your iPad?
Yeah.
But do you learn other languages from your iPad?
Yeah.
What language?
Russian or sugar.
Children of this era are more intellectual and advanced in terms of technology. Even if your toddler is using a phone or computer to learn letters or words, they still need lots of time interacting with you. They can't press a button on a device and simulate that. It is indeed a revolution out there. The iPad is a magic electronic babysitter that creates instant peace in the household. There are both good and bad effects for children using the iPad. First, because it is so direct and interactive, scientists have seen that kids are much more easily immersed in material they read and browse on Apple's tablet. But the flip side of that is that kids can apparently get too immersed. Because the iPad is so focused and easy to use, too much screen time can interfere with children's development. Staring at screens too long may cause the muscles in the baby's eyes to atrophy. They certainly do that to adults. In addition, we blink less when we look at screens and our eyes become dry. What effect does that have on developing babies? No one knows. But we do know that babies and children both require extended sunlight for their eyes to develop normally. As with everything, iPad use will have to come down to what parents think is healthy and best for their individual child. Parents need to set clear limits as well as consider moderation in all things.